I've sort of gone out and talked to a lot of folks about this role, and Dr. Meyer was able to kind of start giving it some thought as well, because we realize we're at a place in the district now where we need kind of a single contact for people, so that people aren't kind of have the feeling they're shuffled from one office to another. We've had a lot of good changes, for example, moving the Parent Welcome Center up to the front, giving people an immediate entry into the district office so they don't have to wander around through 8 departments, and a number of things in that respect. But we recognize that there are populations in our community that need a single kind of responsive individual, a single contact, and somebody of the community is kind of important. I think we've talked about that as well, that it's somebody who knows this community, not just we hire somebody from, you know, another state or Northern California or something, but somebody who really is of this community. And Mount Diablo has the unique situation of lots of different communities. So actually it started out, and I was kind of calling it a cultural liaison, and we went through different concepts, and it kind of morphed into sort of a community liaison. But it's to address the needs of our community parents and students, and in that community is obviously a large Hispanic population and a group that really needs that kind of single contact and voice. So I don't know if Dr. Meyer wanted to present some information, but this is just to look at creating the position, and which means it has to be defined and, you know, put forward.
Yes, this concept of the community liaison position is one I have seen in other districts. There were many voices from our LCAP process where at community meetings parents suggested that this was something that they would like to see that could further support them. The DLAC this last week went to the DLAC meeting and discussed this idea as well, and there was overwhelming support for the idea of a parent liaison who would be a contact, someone who could coordinate parent information meetings, coordinate parent information nights, someone who would be working with communities to celebrate some of the successes, showcase the successes, someone who also could work with parents if there's a need for parent education or to connect them to where that parent education would be. You mentioned programs, you know, Puente, as was mentioned, but also Pique. There are some wonderful programs out there, so someone who would familiarize themselves with programs that would be available for all of our students. We've also had discussion that there was an interest in someone who, you know, we do have a position that is there to support parents with through special education, and originally I had an idea that it might be a dual position, but that didn't work because that person is very specialized. There's also the idea that, as we heard tonight, there's an interest in subcommittees that are looking at EL data. This could be a position that chairs a subcommittee that looks and monitors that data. And one of the ideas and the reasons for making this a community liaison is because really it's not isolated to one particular group. It would be someone who could bring communities together. As mentioned, there could be some communities who don't understand the challenges faced by neighboring communities. So it would really be someone who would work within all aspects of our district and provide that parent liaison communication support.
Okay, so I think it's a good responsiveness to the community and a good way to try to improve service. So this is really on for information. So does the board have any questions or need more information? Because I believe what you would be doing is developing a job description for this individual. We've already had several people. She went to the DLAC meeting, said something, and 2 parents stopped her right afterwards and said, I'd like to apply. So it wasn't very hard to find out this was a definite need. and one that already interested a couple of people.
And I would share, we did a lot of work when we went out to our meetings about the accountability plan. And we had our 3 areas, so college and career. We had all sorts of things that we were doing for that, all of these actions that we are already doing or planning. Professional learning, all sorts of things that we were doing. When we got to parent and community engagement, there were fewer actions that were around that particular area that we had in the district. And so you could see visually that there was a need for support in that 3rd goal.
So the idea is an individual who kind of cuts through some of the bureaucracy and red tape and can be the communicator with all the departments and kind of a resource for parents, direct resource for parents, so they don't have to call 14 offices to try to find information. And I believe it'll say something about bilingual preferred, so that would be an important thing.
So just to confirm, we will still have the special education liaison
Yes,
as
that
a
was,
position?
yes.
Okay. A little bit, that would,
I was
think,
asked that
defeat the
question
purpose.
specifically.
That would defeat the purpose if we blended those two, I think. Any other questions on behalf of the board? So, June 22nd?
Correct.
June 22nd, we'll bring this back. So thank you, Mr. Fulmore, for your advocacy along the way, and he's pointing the finger elsewhere. We're with him. Thank you to the 2 gentlemen in the front row who've hung out here until 10:15. Thank you. We're going to try to meet those needs. I think it's important, and it's time. So thank you for your support. Okay, I got the